Today we're going to be talking about cell theory. One of the fundamental foundations in biology is the cell theory. The cell theory states the cell is the basic unit of life. Next, all living organisms are composed of cells. And third, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. These notions may seem like common sense to you, but they were developed over a rather lengthy period of time. Let's go back to the end of the 16th century in 1595. In the shop of Zacharias Janssen, we find him tinkering with lenses for eyeglasses. However, today he is not making eyeglasses, but rather it is here that the first microscope is invented. The microscope is what enabled the observations to take place that led to the cell theory. Next, we travel to the mid-1600s, 1668 or so, where we find Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He made his own microscope that looked a bit odd, but was more powerful than most. With his strange device, he was able to make the first observations of single-celled organisms from looking at scrapings from his own teeth. Around the same time von Leeuwenhoek was checking out teeth gunk, another scientist by the name of Robert Hooke was observing a thinly sliced piece of cork. Oh yeah, the portrait of Hooke was misplaced when Isaac Newton acquired all of Hooke's research. These two were not exactly friends. Anyway, what Hooke saw in the cork was little chambers that reminded him of cells like in a monastery or a jail. Nevertheless, the word stuck. I guess you're thinking, okay, so now that they have a name, it will probably be done before the beginning of the 1700s, right? Wrong. We now jump forward to 1833. That's right, 168 years. In 1833, Robert Brown discovered the plant cell nucleus, the first interior part of the cell to be viewed. 5 years later, Matthias Schleiden proposed that the cell is the basic building block of all plants. The next year, Theodor Schwann said the same thing about animals, and then a short while later he generalized the cell as the basic unit of life. And all living creatures are composed of cells. But wait, there's more. In 1855, Rudolf Virchow developed the third tenet of cell theory, Omnius cellula e cellula, Latin for cells develop only from existing cells. It may have taken a while to get the details ironed out, and it took some technological advances, but we've arrived at the cell theory. So to recap, the cell is the basic unit of life, all living organisms are made of cells, and cells arise from pre-existing cells. Thank you. Now go do your homework.